Most people think the greatest battle in the universe is the one told at the very end of the Bible. But the truth is, that was only the echo of something much, much older. A conflict so ancient, so cosmic, and so fierce that it shook heaven long before the world we know even existed. Because before Eden, before time itself, before the first star ever lit the darkness, two beings stood on opposite sides of a choice that would change eternity forever. One was Lucifer. His name means light bearer. He was the radiant guardian of God's throne, perfect in beauty, flawless in wisdom, and draped in a glory of precious stones. The scriptures say he walked among the fiery stones, closer to God than any other created being. The other was Michael, heaven's warrior prince. He wasn't as dazzling as Lucifer, not as artistic or celebrated, but he was steadfast, unmovable, a commander whose authority was forged in loyalty and unwavering devotion. You could say Lucifer represented brilliance and artistry, while Michael represented obedience and duty. And destiny would soon force them to collide in the most spectacular way. Everything changed the moment God revealed his ultimate plan to create humanity. A new race made in his very own image, destined to walk with him and even rule alongside him. Ancient traditions and texts suggest that this was the breaking point. Lucifer, the most magnificent of all created beings, was asked to serve these creatures made of mere dust. Pride ignited within him. Other accounts say he desired God's throne for himself, to be the one worshipped. Whatever the specific spark was, pride became the fuel, and the brightest being in all of heaven began to twist his beauty into rebellion. He whispered doubts into the ears of other angels. He questioned God's justice and his love. He promised a new order, a higher freedom, a throne of his very own, above the stars of God. And slowly, tragically, a third of the angelic hosts turned their ears toward the Shining One, seduced by his words. Heaven had only ever known worship and harmony. It had never seen treason. Then the moment came, the moment so many overlook, a moment when heaven itself became a battlefield. Imagine it, lightning splitting the skies of eternity, the thunder of countless wings beating like a cosmic storm, power clashing against power as angels who once sang together in perfect harmony now collided like exploding stars. At the very front of this rebellion was Lucifer, the radiant challenger, ablaze with ambition. And standing against him was Michael, the sword of heaven. This wasn't a fight between equals. It was a fight of truth versus pride, of humility versus arrogance. Lucifer fought with ambition, with selfish desire, with the fire of self-exaltation. Michael fought with a declaration, a question that was also an answer. It's the very meaning of his name. Who is like God? Michael, who is like God? That single declaration shattered Lucifer's illusion of grandeur, because the answer was, and is, no one. And with that truth unleashed, the tide of the battle turned. Lucifer fell, not because Michael was inherently stronger on his own, but because no creation can ever overthrow its creator. A roar shook the foundations of the heavenly realms as Lucifer and his followers were cast out, expelled from the heights they once called home. The Shining One became the adversary. The morning star became the accuser of the brethren. And the greatest tragedy in heaven's history became the greatest threat to life on earth. Because you see, the war didn't end there. It simply changed battlefields. And humanity, the very beings Lucifer refused to honor, became the new focal point of this ongoing ancient war. Every temptation you face, every spiritual battle for your soul, every whisper of doubt and pride, it all traces back to that ancient clash between Lucifer and Michael. It's a conflict between two beings, two choices, and two destinies. One fell because he wanted to rise above God. The other was exalted because he chose to stand under him. And that is the battle that shaped eternity, the battle that so few talk about, but the one that is still echoing through every single one of our lives today. It's a choice we all have to make. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world.